Let's talk about it, yeah. Let's talk about it, let's talk about it, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, let's talk about it, let's talk about it. In the air, toast one in the air. Let's talk about it. Yeah, in the air, toast one in the air. Let's talk about it, talk about it, talk about. Baby, let's talk about it, talk about it.
Smoking more, but eating and sleeping less. The heart God gave me years ago is broken inside my chest. Can't believe you used me up till there was nothing left. Give you my last breath. In a world full of fake love, I thought yours was real. Toss and turn at night, I long to feel you near. I miss you laying next to me, whispering in my ears. You love me and you're sorry are the only words I can hear. Someone else was always your biggest fear. In a world full of fake love, I know yours is real. Stronger than we had. What am I supposed to do if I can't get you back? Never thought I'd see the day when you weren't by my side. I'm barely getting through the days, I still can't sleep at night. In a world full of fake love, just know mine is real. just know mine is real.
Hey, what's up, guys? Thank you for watching. First, let's talk about it. I got some amazing people here with me today. I am Rufta Rufftop, and I have my guest host with me, my amazing friend, Kimberly Gladney, or Southern Quill. You can find her on Instagram,
KG.
Southern Quill KG. Okay. And I have some amazing guests here with me today. I'm going to let them introduce themselves.
Okay. So first and foremost, good afternoon. My name is Dre Haze. I am a singer, songwriter, and self-taught guitarist from Mecca, California. And that's kind of who I am at this particular point in time. I'm a father. I'm a son, obviously. I'm a provider in the best sense of the word, and I'm a dreamer. So I think that's what makes me unique.
I hear that, a dreamer. Okay.
Right. Greetings, y'all.
Jason.
I am Jason Odine, a 24-year-old photographer / videographer out of Nashville, Tennessee, born and raised. And I just want to say my biggest goal for this year is just to grow as a photographer and video person and to become more of a voice for the injustices that are going on in the world, because I feel like I've been wanting to use my voice to do that, but I've been waiting. I've been kind of shy. And I'm starting to feel like as things are getting more tense in the country, eventually I want to just start to speak out about it without the fear of losing followers and losing friends. So that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at right now. So just trying to get more comfortable talking about these things so I can use this as a catalyst later on to just speak out. I mean, we just had MLK Day, and even then I realized as people were saying RIP MLK, a lot of the white folks. I mean, I think I don't want to harp on MLK like that, but I just want to remind people MLK was murdered. He didn't die for, you know what I'm saying? He was murdered. He was shot and killed. So that was something that I was like, okay, look, there's got to be a line somewhere where we got to draw it and just say what's going on, how it is.
He was a terrorist. He was labeled a terrorist by the government.
Right. So it was not all roses and peaches and cream. No, it was something different.
Manipulation.
It was something different.
And I like the fact that you said, to speak up, whether you lose some, followers or, anything like that, because that's a big thing now and kind of messed up.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to remain hidden, or to shield yourself away from hearing about what's going on in the world, especially today when all you have to do, when you see an article that someone has thoughtfully, placed on a timeline or sent you a DM that has a beautiful article in it or something like that. I mean, all you can really do is scroll past it, unfollow. You can ignore information at an alarming rate the same way that you can receive information. In this day and age, you have the power of both to choose to engage yourself in it, but you also have the power, if you wish, to not only have articles tailored, to you, because Facebook can see what you like, what you comment on. So they'll feed you what you crave in a sense. So it can be tough to even break through and just have different angles on all these things coming to your social media feeds. I mean, a lot of people get their news off Twitter and stuff. So I think that's a battle we got to address as well. I mean, what do we do with all this information, and how do we get people to get through the clutter and start to use the capabilities of research that we all have,
It's what's the Malcolm X quote when you want to hide something, put it in a book.
Yep.
It becomes laziness at the end of the day. If you no matter what your source is, do you fact check it? I take everything with a grain of salt, personally speaking.
Right.
I want sources. I will go check out the sources. I'll look it up. If someone tells me this doctor said this, and so this is why we should buy into this. I'm going to go research the doctor. I'm not just going to go Google him. I want to see if he's accredited. I want to see if he's had any malpractice suits.
Right.
So I want to see what his ethics is like. You know, what is it? Not only like, is there a source? This is a credible source. This is a source that I can respect. You know, but you know, if you just take anything someone hands you, you run that risk of being poisoned. You know,
Right.
you're like, this is good. Like, you fucking poison. You just eating it up. Look at this, you know. So that's something that we have to also do our due diligence in, and we can't blame anyone else for that lack of responsibility or personal accountability in that way.
Right. Fact checking is still very valid. I mean, I know we had that election in 2016 where that was the big deal. But now more than ever, I mean, things are really getting cracked down. And I'm just urging people, like, this is the time. You can find out what you want to about COVID. You can find out what you want to about Biden, and just there's so many things that are also opening up in the air. So 2021, I think, is going to be a great year. I think we're going to make some very, very interesting leaps in a good direction. That's just what I can feel. Hopefully that turns out, and hopefully it does work out that way. But I feel like it's going to be a better year than 2020. I can really feel that. So let's just keep up for us.
I feel like people have to apply pressure to their loved ones, because that's the part of, if they want to, you know, that echo chamber exists for a reason. There's a lot of people who have who live lives that are mindfully ignorant.
Right.
Stuff can be too deep. I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to hear about that. Like, you're talking about you losing people. Like, they get to make that decision. It's not like what you said was a lie. You know, they love you enough to want to hear how you feel, how you process America. Exactly. You know what I mean? Do they love you enough to want to develop empathy and compassion? Or does hearing your truth selfishly make them think about, I don't like how you're making me feel with your pain. I don't like how your pain makes me feel. So I don't have to deal with this. I don't want to hear this. And these people over here told me that everything you said was a lie. And that sounds so much better to me because it feels so much better to me. So you're lying.
It's all about walking a mile in somebody's shoes. I feel like, you know what I mean? And we all have white friends, and, you know, that we care for, that we love, you know, they might be there for us more than even, you know, our Black friends. But do they care enough to walk a mile in our shoes and actually feel, you know, like how it feels to be like a Black person in America?
Right.
You know,
that's kind of, I mean, I think a lot of people would say no. There's been so many jokes on TV and TV shows, and like, would you be Black if you had a choice? I don't think a lot of people would be down. You know, I think a lot of people are down with the culture. You know, the culture's contagious.
I love that.
Right.
Culture's so contagious. And then when it comes time, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you really want to be Black out here, you know, a lot of people would be like, oh, okay, I'm good. That's okay. That's all right. Hey, that's okay. You know, I'm glad that our culture is so contagious and it can be enjoyed. But I feel like as Black folks, we get put in this interesting situation where now we have to, like, break it down carefully, like, what's going on. Like, we have to become like a gentle storyteller, like, with so much rage, that, like, this is the beauty and the struggle of trying to communicate what Black people have gone through, is that you have to figure out how to tailor it so that people will listen and not sense like how angry you are, and how, I mean, you know, you heard spoken word and poetry, like, a lot of that stuff is raw, it's emotional, it's deep, because that's how it'll get you feeling when you realize what all Black folks are up against. But I think we have been putting in a really, really tough situation, and this is why we are very, very strong as a people in general, because a lot of times we have to do these things where we talk about racism, and we talk about Black Lives Matter, and we talk about what's going on with the police and why these things are important. And we have to do it in a certain way where it's like, I'm not going to step on your toes that hard, but I've got to step, you know, casually on your toes and just really figure out how to, like, tiptoe quietly and let people know like what's going on. Because if you yell and you're like, yo, this is what's going on, a lot of people will freak out and just be like, it's too much for me. Like, what's white privilege, stuff like that. So it's just really, really interesting. And I want to know how y'all deal with that also. Like, how do y'all go about telling people about the injustices going on while, you know, feeling some type of way, but also being aware that you may not be able to say everything you want to say?
Dre, I like your perspective because, you know, West Coast and specifically, you know, California is seen as being a very liberal state. And so a lot of times when you have places that are liberal or, you know, West Coast, Northern, people think that there isn't really racism or that, you know, things are so much different. And the white people out here are really, really woke and things like that. What's your take on it?
But I was going to ask, how is it in Cali? Because the South is cold, honey. The South is cold.
It's blatant.
Yeah.
Blatant. Yeah.
Well, this is the whole thing about it. When it comes to just us in general as Black people, we don't treat each other well enough to make the changes that we need to make. A select few of us want what you want, Jason. And I love your heart for that, bro, but that's not the majority of us that want what you want. Most of the Black people that are having injustice committed against them it's not from white people on a physical level. It's on a economical level, 100%. We have a huge gap between there and shit like that. You have to be a special nigga to do certain shit. Or one of those coin phrases, what they say, a token nigga, you know, one out of the bunch or something like that, you know? It's plenty of token niggas at the end of the day, but those other niggas don't want to see that token nigga make it. So he does.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what that is. You have to be, I tell myself all the time, like, I did some genealogy shit. This is the honest to God truth. I come from a line of like 14 kings from Spain and from Ireland, all kinds of shit. It's crazy. I got Irish, Portuguese, Cameroonian, Mali. Like it's a crazy dynasty. Yeah.
I got that in common. Jason got that in his blood.
Yeah, Nigerian too. I think I'm 33% Cameroonian. They said 20% Nigerian, something like that. Like, so I was just like, this is crazy. I said, this is great, but crazy. So I'll take it, you know.
Car literally on the way over here. I was like, you know, the thing that I was like happiest about, like, not to say I wasn't really proud about finding out my African percentages, but when I came back as like less than 3% of other shit, I was like, barely raped. That family was like, going on with that bullshit now.
A little bit.
But I was like, barely raped.
But back to the question that she had asked earlier, just my second part of the answer. I believe that you have to put yourself in a position of power. When I say power, you have to have economic influence. You have to have political influence. You have to have star status is what it's called. People have to be able to be swayed by you. Like, I want to be able to wave my hand like these fake preachers do and be able to make a whole bunch of stuff happen. You have to take the people that are berated right now and that are broke, battered, and bruised and stuff. And these are the people that are quote unquote not being listened to. I used to be homeless, believe it or not. I'm just glad I don't look like what I've been through. Like, I was homeless, like sleeping outside in the middle of open field next to a cemetery on roofs. Like, I was a hobo, as I tell my sons, and I try to explain to them stuff because they see me as a superstar. They don't see me as a hobo, no homeless dude.
Right.
And so when I explain these things to them, they're blown away first and foremost. They still think I'm capping. They're gonna think I'm capping probably forever because we're in a better position than they remember. Because they're only 4, 5, and 6.
Oh.
Yeah, you know, so they're heck of tiny. So I'm Superman right now, which I'm grateful for. They want to be like me, all the rest of the stuff. So I'm very intentional with the things that I'm doing as far as my life is concerned and trying to show them, you know, the best that I could possibly show them, try to train them properly, teach them well. I homeschool them now. I don't have them doing the 6 to 8 hours on that iPad or whatever the heck they're supposed to be on, or whatever the case. That's horrible. You're trying to teach them how to be little adults early, you know?
Right.
You put them in cubicles early. This is a cubicle, bro. That's what I told myself. These is cubicles.
Yeah.
Early adoption of assimilation.
I'm telling you, and this is their normal day to day. They're comfortable with it, not because they want to be comfortable with it, because if they don't, they fail their classes.
Right.
And so that's the thing for white America. Now I will say that though, that's the thing. That thing for white America is frustrating them. That's frustrating white America is the Zoom class stuff.
Oh.
They're missing all the social gatherings and stuff like that. You're supposed to be Sweet 16s, those type of things. So that in their mind, that's the frustrating part. But they're willing to quote unquote deal with it because they don't want to get sick and everything like that. But then, like I say, we have the Biden people that want to get the vaccine. Then you have the Trump people that don't want to get the vaccine. So now you put America against each other at this point. So we are divided in the millions. In the tens of millions, we're divided.
Yeah.
Black people, we don't care either way it goes because we don't always, they don't give a crap about us either way it goes.
Oh shoot! You
So
already
you
know.
feel me? It's the truth.
All the memes when the Capitol was stormed.
Oh man!
Every black meme, Black Twitter was on some like, look, sound like a personal problem to me. Like,
Yes,
you know.
it was funny. Yeah, it was hilarious.
But
But
we have to gather power.
That's that. Like, to be a Black American, you have dual citizenship. You live in white America and you live in Black America.
yeah,
Right.
Correct, but you can't get too far. If you get too far into white America, you don't get the same privileges that a white American. O.J. Simpson is probably one of the only cats I know that was able to do some white people shit and get off with it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm trying to think of any other black person I know that was
right?
able to do some white people shit and get off for it. You feel me? Twice. What they twice?
No, it's a
And the
good
nigga wrote a book about it. If I was to do it,
Yeah, then
Oh,
then he went and stole his own shit, which I thought was great.
wait, did he write it after he got out of jail, ladies?
I don't remember.
They can't do double jeopardy.
You
You know what double jeopardy is, right? But they can't charge you for the same
Yeah,
crime.
they can't charge you the
So that's
same.
what I'm asking. Was it after he got out of jail?
Right. I'm not sure.
Oh no, I
That'd
want to
be
look it up
cool.
though.
But the
That would be a
jailing,
good thing to
wait,
research.
the jailing, that was for when he stole his own shit, right?
I thought it was,
Okay, so-
oh yeah, is that what it's for? I think that might have been what it's for. Yes, it was for that shit. Same.
But like you said, this nigga's a superhero.
Right?
Right. Right.
Black Panther.
Catcher Freeman. That's what he is, Catcher Freeman.
I mean, that's the first. That's how we knew
He
that.
took the heart-shaped herb before we knew about it.
What was he saying? What was he
Still
saying?
whistling at a white woman and getting pummeled like that. 'Cause remember what happened to Emmett Till? Did he whistle at a white woman? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
From him whistling as a young man at a white woman and
I
getting.
don't even know if he whistled at her. He might have just been whistling because he was having a great.
You know what?
Right.
You know, it's
right.
the nigga might. Wait, listen. We don't know if the nigga even whistled at all.
We were there. We was told the history, so he may not
You
have.
know what they say? Victors write the history.
Yeah,
They say the losers don't write history. The victors write
Exactly.
history.
So we don't know if he whistled at her or not. That's
Right.
Well,
Right.
look at Trayvon Martin. We can think. I think it's the same thing. Trayvon Martin. They said he had a gun. It's a quote unquote, but it was a tea and some Skittles.
Yeah, he does. Tea and some Skittles.
yeah.
You feel me? So that's what I think about when I think about Emmett Till, and then I think about O.J. Simpson. That one little particular thing that we're able to do, or our police officers as black people when they go and they take the oath basically to be, inside edition because they want to help the niggas out, but they trained and they know how niggas is. You feel me? So they get unfortunately they have to go into nigga areas where niggas is acting like animals. They don't get to go into black suburbia. They got to go to where people like us is acting like animals. So they're conditioned to think that we animals like that. You feel me? They are in a certain type of bracket at this point.
But do you the etymology of like why we are, when we're acting like animals, like it's not.
We need leaders. We don't have any leaders. We have no kings and queens, literally.
I was gonna say, do you think it's inherent to who we are, or is it what's it
conditional? You think it was
nature versus nurture? Like
I think it's half and half.
If you look at slavery and the systematic
how they taught us and all, I understand. I'm with you on that, and I say now it's half and half.
In the mental things, like saying that lighter is better.
Correct.
The more European, prettier.
Correct.
Post slavery, they wouldn't do business with dark skinned blacks. So lighter skinned blacks, also because they were house niggas, they were educated. They were educated, period, and they were also educated in the tropes. So they were like the intermediaries between, we want to hire these bucks over here.
We need a Pangea for niggas. This is what I'm trying to say. We need a Pangea for black people.
So
it's the truth.
That puts each other like against each other too.
Yes, I mean,
we need a Pangea. I'm with you, ladies, and I agree.
You're sharing that it's not that I don't see it, but a lot of it, the root of it still is oppression.
Well, it's still happening today. It's still happening today at the end of the time, so we still have people that are, black people.
Like, I don't think
for sure.
Like if I was to say someone is, it's saying that we were animals. I would actually think that we were the least animalistic and in the story.
Beforehand, 100%. I agree with that 100%. But when we're killing each other, we're raping each other, we're doing this stuff. That's an animalistic character.
Even now, because if I have someone who has created a cage, left me in it,
Right.
me to be amongst my own feces, I'm half starved. I can go on and on about the conditions in this cage. If I get to the point where I'm mad, who's the animal? Me in the cage or the person who put me there and is watching me?
Mm-hmm.
Right. If today you lock a dog in a hot car and the dog dies or gets sick, the owner is the one at fault, not the dog. I mean,
Right.
And I feel like in this country, low key, white folks will treat dogs like 10 times better than they'll treat black people.
Oh, you remember when that guy killed that? Was it a lion? He killed that lion. And it's like, oh, the nigga yesterday. You know, come on. But no, it's true because it's safe. Listen, the reason why they're able to do that is because they don't have to fight with their family, have any judgment about their friends' belief systems. Mm-hmm. We all love animals, right?
Right.
But if you're racist and I'm over here capping or vouching for this thing, this friction in my universe is problematic. Right. So it's better for me to not even acknowledge that I see it. You know, I was talking about the mindful ignorance and cognitive distance they have. It's better for me just to say I don't even, you know, what are you talking about? What's that? You know, and if I remove myself from those things, I don't have a concept.
We have to think that gives that right. What they don't want is additional responsibility, because when you have to take blame for what you did as a whole to a people, you are now, if you think about it, you are now conditioned. You should be rewired to be responsible for the change.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Right.
That takes a lot. That is not something that's going to happen overnight. It took 400 years to fuck us off like this. So it's not going to be 10, 15, 20 years, and we don't have enough people, like I say, kings and queens. I mean, physical kings and queens. I'm not talking about somebody that is in the media shit like that. I'm talking about like a Nelson Mandela and shit like that. Like, MLK was cool, but we need somebody. I need somebody with an iron fist.
Right.
I don't want a passive king. I need somebody that's going to fuck some shit up.
But, you know, that's why they're silencing the ones that's trying to, you know, raise up as a king or as a queen, you know, activists and everything. Like, they don't let them get far. You know,
they don't let them get far, but if we came as a whole, they wouldn't. If we came as a whole collectively, they would have a force to be reckoned with.
Right.
Well, that's my thing, is that I don't want to fault the oppressed. That's my thing. You know, and I feel like the more we educate ourselves on why we are the way we are, and we understand it, like I was saying earlier, it becomes very apparent that you were going to be this way. There was no other way for you to be with these parameters, right? So once you know, knowledge is power, and knowing is half the battle. Once you know, you can change. I mean, I do that with
I have a question for you, KG.
My morals and my character. You know, I have a question for you. You know, my faults. So, and I know I could be less reactionary and catch them sooner rather than later. And that would empower us to do the things that you're saying. Correct.
So this is a question for you, because my son, obviously, he's 6 years old. So whatever environment he grows up in is what he's going to be conditioned to. We already grown at this point in time. I'm 32 years old. I don't know how old you ladies are, whatever the case is, but whatever stigma that we have in our mind, of course we can change it at this point in time, but that's us being, pragmatic and logistical at this point in time. Whatever my son grows up with, I can tell him he's a king all day, but if he's not treated like a king in the environments that he's in and shit like that, that will play a part in his mind unless I strengthen him well enough to know, regardless of what they're talking about, this is still you. It just makes it easier when he's able to see other people that are accepting him and acknowledging him like that, like white people have been doing. I was listening to somebody say they don't really teach their people about pain and oppression and shit. They talk about all the good shit that happens with white people. They just learn about all the bad shit that happens to niggas.
Right.
That's by design.
I want to go back to the good old days, because it was good old days for them when niggas was shutting their mouths, getting their asses killed left and right, and it wasn't a problem and shit like that. For them, that's the good old days.
Right. Well, and they had a lot more money too.
Right. It is. You definitely have to be aware of if you're teaching acceptance of trauma. You know what I mean? That is a level of conditioning that happens with that. I find that, like, instilling self-love and self-worth. And also, it takes a village. Each one teach one, keeping your child. Like I said, there's two Americas. There's Black America, there's white America. We know this. So if at home, who you surround yourselves are people who are uplifting, empowering, and then they see examples of people in science and medicine and music,
Right.
and athletes and all of these things, in addition to how mistakes are treated. Like, I'm not completely opposed to giving a kid a whooping sometime. Like, what I'm saying? Like, hey, but is that like the first, second, third, fourth thing to go to because you lost your
It has to be a last resort at the end of the day.
Right.
Men need chastisement. I will say that as a man, we need chastisement.
Yeah,
Talking doesn't always work for us.
I'm not opposed to it, but I feel like if I want to build your character first.
Correct.
And if you're a certain age, the character isn't built enough for you to have an understanding for me to beat you.
Correct. I think around 6. I spank my kids very rarely, and that's just because it's just I done told them something 78 times already.
Yeah.
Now you done broke something. You finna poke yourself in the eye with a pencil. I told you to leave alone 50 times. Now I gotta spank you because you're not listening. But as far as like I hate doing that because again, these are little people. I'm hitting a little person.
Yeah.
You feel me? So I don't like that. You feel me?
These are opportunities for character building.
Right.
These are the moral compass settings in these moments when kids do certain things. Like you can choose to pop them or whatever, but you can also have a conversation. Teach them to use their words when you disagree. Right. You know what I'm saying? And that defending yourself.
But being bad is being bad. That's the difference. If you're gonna be bad, you get your ass whooped.
That's why I say I'm not opposed. And sometimes you might get your ass because it's on something.
All right, guys. We're gonna segue. So we want to ask you guys, what are y'all working on? And I will start with you, Jason. What have you guys been working on?
So I've been doing some more camera stuff. I'm heading more back in the direction of like vlogs. I shot my first music video like 2 weeks ago, shooting another one now. Excited to see how that project turns out. But
nice.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, congrats.
But I'm starting a full-time job also February 1st. So
congratulations, bro. What are you gonna be doing?
That's
right.
Disability claims examiner. It's like a government job. So I don't know what that comes with, but everybody's like, oh, it's the government, that's cool. So hopefully they have benefits.
Yeah.
Does that have to do with your career, with what you went to school for?
No, it actually does not. So I went to school for public relations and I have not gotten a job in that field yet, but I mean, one day, perhaps. I still hope so.
Yeah, for sure.
Like being in the government, you can see like sometimes jobs aren't listed. So yeah, you could.
And I know you do high-end real estate, videography and stuff like that. So will you still be doing that also?
I plan to. I really want to cut back and just have some fun with it for a little bit.
I'm really excited to see what your creative eye looks like, especially what you were saying that the direction you want to go into.
Right. I got an upload coming soon with a local actor. He's doing a promo tour, and I think it's going to be some heat. So y'all be on the lookout for that too. I'm going to drop it on Instagram. That's
What's
my
your
favorite. O_Dynasty0. But I mean, it's just my name, y'all. Just look up my name and you'll find me. There's only one of me. It's Jason Odine.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
So will you be doing more of music videos?
I'm finding out
here.
I've learned.
Great.
I've been doing freelancing for like 7 months. So I've been figuring out what I like and what I don't like.
Okay.
And I don't want to jinx myself, but I do not like music videos at this point. I like real estate videos and more vlogs. So I want to go more in like that direction and like maybe like product commercials and stuff like that. So I'm still figuring out like where I want to be in that lane and just kind of going in that direction.
Or you can make. Wait, do you not like them because you don't like them, or do you not like them because you don't like how it's done now?
No, I mean it's something you gotta have, like it's just like a sport where you just gotta have a mind for it. You know what I'm saying? I don't have the mind for like setting up music videos at this moment in time because you gotta be thinking of a whole bunch of different angles and stuff. But
For sure.
I'm not quite there. I gotta plan stuff out. A lot of people come to me and they'll want something. We'll start like getting to work like 3 days later or like a day later, and there's no time
You're
to plan.
a methodical person that does not work.
No, I mean,
shit together.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's not how I like to work, so that's why I can't keep doing it.
You're a Virgo, aren't you, Jason?
What's up?
You're a Virgo, aren't you?
I am a Virgo. Yes.
Hey, Virgo in the house. No wonder why. Everything has to be logically in order.
Right. There's nothing that makes me more frustrated.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, for sure. I could completely understand that because like being around a lot of musicians too, I see that happening a lot, like where they're just like, oh yeah, we're shooting a music video. I was like, oh, okay, so what's the story behind it? I'm that type of person too, like put that in order, like the outfit, everything, but musicians, sometimes they're like, they get too excited and they're just like very spirited. They're like, hey, I'm shooting a music video. So I could see that not, being your favorite thing to do.
It drives me crazy. And I'm in the world.
Right.
I feel like
and you're Sag, so that's surprising because a lot of Sags, they're like, hey.
I feel like musicians are creative people who like, that's their only outlet of creativity. I feel like they're like that. But like, that's one of the things I'm interested in. That's one of my passions.
That makes sense.
You know what I mean? Like I'm probably equally left and right brained. I'm just as serious as I am silly, and so on.
That makes complete.
No, anyone who has ever visited me in my home, they know that my shit in my house has a home. Like I will know if you move something. I'm the person like you'll go, oh, what a cute vase, and you'll set it back down, and I'll be walking and I'll be like
fixing it.
Yeah. Like, so yeah, I'm just very like I'm neurotic in that way. I'm neurotic.
That's what's up. What about you, Dre? What you been working on? I know you got a single that just came out. We can't wait to hear it.
Yes.
Yeah, man. I've been working on a lot of good stuff yesterday called Redemption. And so it's going really well for me. I am writing more music. I plan on writing 100 songs in 100 days.
Nice.
And so I'm doing a really good job on it. All my songs are very, very important. I have some music that I want you girls to hear soon. I won't let you hear it all right off the bat because it's very special and near and dear to me. And not too many ears have heard it. Maybe one other ear, which is my son or something like that, But it just I'm very personal with my music. People ask me all the time to sell my music. I don't know if I told you guys, but I got offered around $100,000 to sell Empty Bottles, which is the single that I'm going to sing for you girls. Yeah, but this was when I first started it. Yeah, when I first started playing the guitar last year in November. And they were like, is that your own original music? Like, who was managing you, blah, 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 blah. They thought it was a fly-by-night type of song. They were like, sell me the song. I know you need it type of mentality, white dudes do. Like, hey, nigga, I know you can use this 100,000. What are you going to do with this?
Yeah, bro.
Buy a nice chain, gold teeth, all the good stuff. And, I'm like, nah, if it's worth $100,000 to you, I'm pretty sure, if I cultivate it and work on it like I'm supposed to, it'd be worth, tens of millions. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to sit on this.
It's like the Ma Rainey song when they ended up selling his song at the end and putting it out. Unfortunately, a lot of Black people, because they're already struggling, they get offered the baby check, and they're like, sold. It's like, no, that was the baby check. That's
You got to think which people are taking that though. You got to think about which people are taking it. I always say that because to me, that's not enough for us. For this group of people that are talking, that would never be enough to us because what we know, that's the difference. But we've been cultivated as far as this culture. This culture is embedded in us at this point. And this is not the mass culture. This is individual culture that we have at this point. The mass culture is a poverty-stricken mind culture, where we feel like, whatever.
God, answer my prayer.
Right. All the time. And we just think all thing we have to do is just pray, to this person that's to the blue-eyed, blonde-haired brother that we all have seen on plenty of shows, and books and things of that nature. And that it's supposed to be voila, but that's not the case. Like you have to pray as well as watch, you know, work as well as pray. Like you have to put action behind your faith.
Right.
And we're willing to do that, but only to a certain extent.
Okay, so we're ready to hear the song. We can wait. Empty Bottles. This is perfect.
Let's get it.
Here we go, ladies. Empty Bottles.
Bartender, pour me a drink. December's not a good month for me. More money, that's all they want from me. When I'm broke with me, they don't wanna be. Fake friends and backstabbing family will break in and steal all your sanity. So much on my mind, I don't wanna think. Bartender, please pour me another drink. 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 I love you, dear God, you know I do. The main reason behind my pain is you. So I play my guitar in between the drinks. Empty bottles of Jim Beam and Hennessy. Fake love and backstabbing family will break in and steal all your sanity. So much on my mind, I don't wanna think. Bartender, please pour me another drink. Pour me another drink. Pour me another drink. Missed calls and unread messages. I work hard and this is what I get. Fake love is no love, that's what it is. Real love I only get from my kids. Heartache and anger is what I feel. Scarred me for life like a battlefield. Believing in me is what they never did. Bartender, please fill my cup again. 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 Please fill my cup again.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Singer that actually emote.
That was nice.
What do you ladies think about that? How did it make you feel on the feeling level of 1 to 5?
It had me all up in my feelings. I'm not gonna lie. It's like
I was at an 8. Okay, I was at an 8. Okay, KG, I'm at an 8 and a 9 and stuff. Oh boy.
I'm sure it talks to a lot of people.
Oh man, you wouldn't believe the type of inboxes I get from all walks of life. My biggest fans are old white people.
Wow, I'm sure.
They love blues these stuff.
They cry to my shit, bro. They send me videos. Oh man, I feel because they the ones who got the big money and the family don't fuck with them when they having a bad quarter. You know.
The bad quarter. I'm still in it, so.
Oh shit, that was funny.
I said I was gonna steal this shit. Oh, so you have
That's true,
man.
man.
I'm a fandangle it, but that's happening.
That song, it's really nice. It makes you tap into your emotions. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, man. God is good. You know, I had that song. I'm pretty sure.
I love God. What's the line?
Dear God, I love you. You know I do. The main reason behind my pain is you. When I say dear God, I'm acting like I'm talking to a spouse, my female, whatever the case, you know, like I'm like, dear God, I love you like you know I do. Now I'm telling her like the main reason behind my pain is you. So I play my guitar in between the drinks, empty bottles of Jim Beam and you know that type of stuff.
Oh wow.
Okay, so that's what it is.
That was the one I needed. I wanted some clarity on. Yeah, I really like.
See, why I need to do a music video to this. That's why I need my man. See, over here bullshit talking you to do a music video.
Jason.
I need some help. I need some help.
What you gonna do?
Y'all stop ganging up on my brother Jason now.
I gave you the black woman bully neck.
That's a meme. That's a meme. Don't they have a meme like this?
Oh my goodness.
What you gonna do, Jason?
What's that movie with
what you gonna do, Jason?
Gabrielle, what you gonna do, bitch? What you gonna do, girl?
Yes.
Hey, only time I'll be down. A lot of planning. As long as you're not in a rush, then I'd be down to work.
Take your time, man. I know how you work, dog. You take, would you say 3 days to 3 weeks? No problemo.
I mean, I just need a couple phone calls. You know what I'm saying? Of preparation.
Easy. Yep.
What's next?
Jason,
What
so
to
diplomatic.
expect?
You said sporadic?
No, diplomatic.
Oh, diplomatic.
Yeah, it's like I've been listening. I'm like, you could represent me. Like I would let you represent me. For what I don't know, but I'll choose you.
But you got my vote. I'm sending this man.
My vote for representation.
I cast my vote.
You know what I'm saying? You got finesse.
Jason, the next president for what is that? 2025? 2024?
25?
25. All right. So we nominate you, Jason, you know,
Oh,
for the next president of the U.S., you know, the United States.
Jason got finesse.
When y'all think we're gonna have another black candidate, like I want a black candidate like me though. I want him to be dark. I need a dark president.
Yeah. Dark skinned president, the first one.
I need a nigga president, bro.
I'm banking
with
on
the big beard.
2035.
I need him to be coming there and just go in there and be a real
African president in the White House.
You feel me?
That's a great question, though.
The deep waves.
Right.
That's a powerful question. Because when that does happen, that means something serious is in play. Either for better or for worse. Like that's either a trick that somebody trying to play. Like, hey, look, we got a black dude in the White House now.
That's a trick.
Or it's going to be kind of like real positive change. So that'll be very...
The thing is just that a lot of black people, and I don't care what their complexion is, if they did a test, they would find that they might have 40%, 30% European blood in them, you know? And, you know, even in Africa with the invasions of Persians and whites and Chinese.
Oh, I do have Persian in me too. It's only 1%. It's like 3%, and then Norwegian or some shit like that.
Asian,
okay.
but it's a lot of Africans even that aren't.
Yet I have no Indian. I was so surprised because my people here are like their hair is like my hair is okay, but their hair is like long and silky and beautiful. But I'm like, damn. So what kind of Indian am I? Because I've always been told I'm Blackfoot Indian. But I'm like, that's just such a general term. But Blackfoots are a group of Indians that don't have a tribe. That's what a Blackfoot Indian is.
Yeah.
Right.
I didn't know that shit at first.
That President Obama, former President Obama, and Kamala, they're black. They're just as black as, like we said, look, we already said the power of one drop, but also, like I said, we have a history of rape.
Right.
We have a history of brutal rape for hundreds of years. So
Right.
any black person that thinks that they're not as black is kind of deluding themselves, because like I said, it's some nigga ass niggas that if they take the test, they might find that they have just as much European DNA as a actual biracial person.
Mm-hmm.
You can go on YouTube and find those videos, thousands and thousands of them, with some what we would consider authentic black people taking their tests and showing their results, and they get, like I said, they got 50, 40, and 30% European blood. That is just as much as a biracial person, or it's just as much as a biracial person who's had a child with a black person. Like,
Right.
so who are we to like say that they not?
Right.
Because the world show treats them like a nigga. Like, we have to
Right.
be careful of this Hitler-esque black purity we do, because like I said, that's America. In Africa itself, the amount of Persian invasions, the amount of Asian invasions, and the amount of white colonizers who raped them, or were with prostitutes and things like that, who had children. It's BS, and it's just another thing to divide us from the truth that all over the world persons of color are going through it. I was just watching a documentary.
So let me ask you this. I have a quick question, and this is a very powerful question, I think, for all of us. If you had a perfect, what does a perfect America look like to you?
A perfect America is where it's
in your eyes.
Just
what does a perfect America look like to you?
And just as great for everyone.
Say it again.
It's just as fucked up and beautiful for everyone.
Yeah,
that's what the perfect America is for you, or are you making a comment?
I'm just joking, but no, seriously. Go ahead.
No, I was saying I can't imagine it being like the perfect America. Even like, everyone that have invented like different things, or like train, and from the making of that, if we was to go back to like in history, railroads and all that, like even white people struggled in America coming from Europe. So I just feel like, we do sell this American dream, but America is just meant to be, the way it presents itself right now. I think it was the same back then, even worse. And now I feel like nothing has changed, to be honest. I don't think there's a perfect America. I don't believe in that.
I don't believe in perfection, period, frankly. But we will operate as our best self if we just have equality. It doesn't mean that things are going to be perfect, but it means that there's an even playing field. And
let me ask you this: do you think equality in the capacity that you're talking about? Because we have 400 years of this stuff. How long have we been free on books? Let's say that. How long have we been free on books?
Man.
1864? That when he got it, 1865?
Maybe like 50.
50. Nigga, that's horrible. Like 50, look at us, like 50, 60 years.
What was the civil rights?
Right. The civil rights movement.
When was post Jim Crow? Like, when do we have like some level of humanity? Because we're still not free, but like, what's when do we get our current level?
To me, that's part of my perfect. For me, that's part of perfect America. For me, I understand that I'm still within this. They gave us all a leash. We all have a leash that will go so far.
Right.
As a black man and as a black woman, we all have a certain amount of leash that will only go so far. I don't care how talented you are. None of the rest of it. They don't care about none of that shit. As a collective whole, you have a leash, and if you try to bite off that leash, when you get into this, like myself, I'm trying to get. I don't even want to use the word famous, but I'm trying to be well known by the world. Once I get into that bracket, a few things are going to change. One of the things going to change is my responsibility to my people, to my own people, for sure. But my responsibility to myself is also going to change, because people are going to try to sway me and put me in certain positions that are going to make me have either some type of moral complex that I don't currently have at this particular point in time, or my people are going to feel like I should be giving more to them because I am in a position of affluence and I do feel for my people. When is enough? Enough is the question. As far as giving back to people is concerned, because I have friends, we all got niggas that'll just use you. If you grown already, they're already some fuck niggas. You just give them money. Now they just a nigga with some fuck. That's a fuck nigga with some money that you done. That's all you created.
Right.
He's still finna go broke next week. He's still finna call you because something happened. You feel me? It wasn't his fault, for sure. It never is.
Teach a man to fish.
You teaching them how to fish. But everybody don't want to learn how to fish. Everybody not trying to go to the aqueduct.
Well, they ain't gonna eat.
Everybody's not the same.
Well,
So what do you do when you have those people? Because back in the day, let me tell you this, back in the day when we had a slave revolt and we was getting ready to leave and shit, if somebody was tripping, we killed their ass. If they were within us and they were going to stop us from escaping, we did away with them.
Mm-hmm.
What do y'all, now let me ask you, do you think that helped us or hurt us back then? We kind of free right now as far as being able to have this type of conversation.
Good conversation.
Right.
Gaze, like Farrakhan, I like a lot of his practices and his mentality as far as what he wants to do for the black man and the black woman and stuff like that, you know? Do you think it's beneficial for us to get our own black America, as you said, to where it's distinctively, we know white America knows, like, this is black America, where 18 million black people live at. Ain't no white people in there, except maybe we don't need no doctors and shit. We can police ourselves, grow our own food. We can do the same thing that other people are doing for us at this current point in time. Do you think that's beneficial to segregate us at that point in time and to have us govern ourselves 100%? Or do you think that's a negligent thing on our behalf as far as wanting 100% equality, if that's what you like to call it?
I feel that integration showed us that we rose to the challenge when left to our own, because right now having the symbolic man to blame cripples us.
Right.
When we didn't have the man to blame, we were more personally accountable, and we held each other to a certain standard.
Yeah, and also remember, segregation was never our choice. Like integration, segregation, that was not.
Yeah, nothing to do with that.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like money, we keep trying to bomb all that, because like people act like Black Wall Street was the only Black Wall Street. It wasn't. I mean, they had many communities in North Carolina that had like great system in place of medicine and veterinarian schools and just a bunch of things, and a whole wealthy city, and they actually put a lot of economic planning into how the city was going to be. We
have something like that again. Do you think we'll ever have another?
Nobody out there
like
to terrorize them, and since we don't know nobody out there to terrorize them, because they're trying to go west, let's celebrate.
Right. All right, guys. So we're about to wrap up, but we want to know what is next for you guys.
More music, man.
Okay.
Making good music, trying to get more, trying to get sharper at my branding.
We collabing.
Me and Erykah Badu, I made it.
Yeah,
y'all gonna be famous.
I haven't heard her voice. I vouch for her until you hear her music.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
What's next for you, man?
Oh man, so I mentioned a little bit back, working on a music video right now and a couple other like vlog projects. But really, if y'all are watching this and you've been wanting to invest in like the stock market or like a ETF, which is like a bundle of stocks that are like low risk where people choose them for you, I just found out like a month ago that if you go to Cash App, one of the tabs on the bottom of the screen on Cash App, I wish I could show y'all.
I know exactly what you're talking about. It's an investment portfolio right there.
Yes, if y'all are, I did not know how to invest for so long. I was worried that I had to go through a broker or something like that, and I was just really in it. But if y'all are watching this and you want to invest in stocks and stuff, you hear about Tesla going up and all that. Yeah. I just want to say real quick, if you have Cash App, you can get on Cash App and invest through that. If you have any further questions, ask myself. Dre also knows about that as well, is what it seems. So you can actually message either one of us. If you're looking to invest, I mean, that is really huge, the Black community. That's a way that we can start to build our own wealth, right? Build some generational long-term wealth, some retirement money, some college fund money, some buy your mama house money type stuff. So
they got a huge head start, bro. If I'm just thinking about the stock market been around for me, they got a huge head start, man.
They did.
Adding on to that, so there's the stock part of it. If anyone is interested in learning about cryptocurrencies and investing in any of them, hit me up.
Yes, that's your person.
Active in general. I'm an active trader. I love more than to share that with my loved ones, and like you said, building generational wealth.
How can we reach everybody? How can they reach you? If
you can reach me KG, also known as what Rufta calls me by my government, Kimberly Gladney. You can reach me at my email address for that specifically. You can reach me at my email address. You'll get a fast response. You prompt if you DM me on Instagram. Good luck. I'll get to it on that.
Okay, so what's the email address?
Southern Quill. Thank you. I'm long-winded sometimes. Southern Quill at gmail.com. Southern Quill at gmail.com. Southern Quill for everything. So
okay, Jason, what about you?
You can contact me on Instagram. I don't have too many DMs to go through these days, so before they get through,
everybody be sliding through your DMs.
I'm just playing. But my name is Jason Odine. Last name is spelled Odine. There's only one of me, so you'll probably find me pretty easy. And today we just been talking about like building. We have a lot that I want to do. I mean, I want to empower. I mean, for me, I'm from a token type area. I'm that black kid that was in the class of like 30 white dudes and 30 white girls. So by default, kind of the token, and I want to, but I've got the experience outside of being in that zone. I want to continue to use this platform that I have, which is like a responsibility if you are even like me, or if you're from a predominantly black area, if you're black in general, to use our voices to speak out against more injustices. And I know it is frustrating, and you may not want to do it because you feel like there is no way to get your point across. There is no one that's going to understand, you know, what you say, because we're black, they're white. They just can't get it. But we are starting to see that point in time, if y'all have been paying attention, where there are more like 20-year-old, 25-year-old white folks, even teenagers, that are starting to speak up and say like, nah, this is wrong. Black Lives Matter is important. And that, you know, this small scale stuff, but this is going to lead to a bigger revolution in the terms of fighting the injustices facing all of us across the country, especially black people. So use your voice, do your research, and be patient, because big changes are on the way.
Amen. What about you, Dre? Where could they find you?
DreHaze.net. Super simple. DreHaze.net. Has all my social media stuff on there. You can also purchase Empty Bottles, the song that you heard me perform here, for $4.99. I think it's a pretty fitting price for such a beautiful record. You can also listen to me on Spotify. Just look up Dre Haze, and I'm there too.
Okay. And I have one last question for you guys. You know, that's one of our deep diving questions. So if you're stuck in the elevator for 90 seconds with your hero that you ain't never met before, who would that be, and what would you tell them about yourself?
Jay, you go first. Oh, nigga.
And she got me with
my hero is Denzel Washington.
Okay, that's a good one.
Washington. I would tell Denzel. I wouldn't tell him anything. I would ask him to mentor me. That's what I would ask, and I would spend the next 90 seconds telling him why I would be a good candidate to be mentored.
Ooh.
I don't want no money, Denzel. Whatever I can do for you. I know you don't drink coffee, but if you want something else, I got you. Brother Washington, my brother.
Okay.
It's gonna happen. I want to make a movie with me, Denzel Washington, and Will Smith. That's my goal, my heart, my dream. God is my witness. That'll be a cold cast. Cold cast.
Put it out there.
You heard it here
Claim
first.
it. Yes.
Right?
You're gonna go back and play first. So let's talk about it episode.
Right.
Remember putting it out there on that
you
show.
Might be on Wendy Williams. Be careful. You might end up on Wendy Williams.
Right. Okay. What about you, Jason?
All right, so my gut is telling me Kobe Bryant, even though I feel like he would not be giving me the time of day.
Wow, that's a good one too.
I still want to be around him just for like a little bit, just to see like
90 seconds.
A little bit
in
about
fact.
the mama mentality.
Okay.
Yeah.
What would you tell him about yourself?
The confidence of Mamba mentality, huh?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think a lot of people can benefit from how like disciplined he was, and that's really like what a lot of people like wanna want to emulate from Kobe is how focused he was on his craft.
Mhm.
And that's something that he worked a lot on for a long, long time. So I'll just kind of ask him like, hey, what advice do you have for the beginning of your journey? You know what I'm saying? What did you do to consistently stay competitive, and just trying to pick his brain about that, and just see what factors were the most important for him and what I could use around me to my advantage. Being from where I'm from, the suburbs.
It's good, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's a good one.
And that's a voice. I think you are a good person to accurately give it credibility and the compassion and love and respect that it should have, because that is a Black perspective that is real.
Yep. I'd love to have you guys again or co-host next time, since you made your first appearance. We would love to have you guys co-host. And yes, I really appreciate you guys making it, today to First Let's Talk About It with me and my good friend KG here with me. And thank you for just exchanging your knowledge, your gifts, your talent, everything. All of that means a lot to us. And just keep doing what you're doing. And, we're here to see you, win out there, and we're here to support. So thank you guys for watching First Let's Talk About It. Please don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe button, and you know where to find these amazing people that I had here with me today, Dre Haze and Jason Odine. And we're going to drop their Instagram tags on the bottom, so y'all will find them easily for anything that that interests you. If you had any questions, any comments, don't forget to put it down below. We appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching First Let's Talk About It again. Bye. We love y'all.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you.
Good conversation.
Yes.
Because I ain't want to shut up.
All right, y'all. I'll catch y'all later.
Bye.
Love to you guys. Travel life.
Bye, Dre. Thank you.
My ladies.
Bye.
I'll follow you on the gram, Dre.
All right, for sure. Blessings.